let me start like this. We are living in an era where everything gets copied, watered down, repackaged, and sold back to us like it's brand new. Originality is under attack. Ownership don't mean what it used to mean. And Black creators? Yeah, we're always the first ones to get played. And today's story is a perfect example, because allegedly somebody tried to run off with a legacy brand and they thought nobody was watching. But baby, they got caught in 4K. Today, we're talking about Nelly, apple-bottom jeans, and a lawsuit that's got the internet whispering, pointing fingers, and saying, damn, damn, damn. So, let's get into the setup. According to what's being reported, Nelly has allegedly cut ties with a Chinese-based company operating in the United States after discovering what his legal team claims was straight-up intellectual property theft. We're talking about apple-bottom jeans, not some random merch, not a side hustle, a cultural staple from the 2000s that helped define an era. Allegedly, this company was producing jeans that looked suspiciously identical to official apple-bottom designs, right down to the so-called secret marks embedded in the fabric. Same cuts, same branding cues, same everything. And Nelly's lawyers? Yeah, they said, nah, run me my paperwork, and dragged them straight to court. Now here's where it gets spicy. Sources close to the situation allege that the knockoff company wasn't just copying silhouettes, they were producing low-quality versions of the jeans and flooding the market. And guess who took the blame? Nelly. Fans allegedly started complaining, saying apple-bottom fell off, that the quality wasn't hitting like it used to, that the stitching felt cheap, the denim was trash, and the fit was off. Whole time, according to insiders, it wasn't even his product. That's foul behavior. That's brand sabotage. That's somebody clapping cheeks with your reputation while smiling in your face. And if you've been paying attention, you already know apple-bottom's comeback hasn't been random. Nelly and Latto have been very public about rebuilding the brand together, hand to hand, step by step. Latto didn't just slap her name on it. She put in real work, real marketing, real cultural relevance. They were trying to bring apple-bottom back the right way, with quality, intention, and respect for what the brand represents in Black fashion history. So for somebody to allegedly swoop in and start selling bootleg versions while riding that momentum, that's not business, that's parasitic. But wait, there's more. Allegedly, investigators discovered that the fake jeans carried internal markers that are exclusive to official apple-bottom manufacturing, meaning whoever did this didn't just guess, they knew exactly what they were copying. That's insider-level information. That's not coincidence. That's not oops, similar design. That's intentional. And if proven, this case ain't just about money, it's about setting a precedent, because if a legacy Black-owned brand can be hijacked like this, what message does that send to upcoming designers? Now, let's talk about accountability, because this ain't just about a Chinese-based company allegedly cutting corners. This is about how often Black brands are disrespected globally. Folks see success, they see demand, and instead of collaborating or competing fairly, they replicate, dilute, and dump trash into the market. Then, when consumers complain, the original creator gets dragged. That's how narratives get flipped. That's how legacies get damaged. And that's why legal protection matters, even when people clown celebrities for doing too much. And let me be clear, Nelly ain't some rookie. He's been in this game for decades. Music, fashion, branding. He knows contracts, he knows licensing, and he knows when something smells funny. So for his legal team to allegedly go nuclear this fast tells me they saw receipts. This wasn't vibes, this wasn't feelings, this was evidence. And when lawyers start using words like damages and brand destruction, somebody's pocket's about to feel that pressure. Social media, of course, had opinions. Some fans were shocked. Others said they knew something was off. You had people saying, I bought apple bottoms last year and they were trash, while others started posting side-by-side comparisons of old versus new pairs. Internet detectives went to work. Threads popped up. TikTok started circulating. And suddenly the conversation shifted from apple bottom fell off to, oh, somebody was playing in Nelly's face. And this is is where the psychology kicks in, because when Black creators expand globally, there's always this tension, access versus control. You want your brand everywhere, but everybody don't respect your vision. Everybody don't honor your standards, and allegedly, that's exactly what happened here. Somebody saw dollar signs and forgot about integrity, forgot about quality, forgot about the culture, and now they allegedly got to answer for it. Now here's where the mask really starts slipping, because once the lawsuit talk hit the airwaves, insiders allegedly started whispering that this situation wasn't some small-time knockoff hustle operating out the back of a warehouse. Nah, fans believe this was organized, calculated, and designed to move fast before anybody noticed. And let me tell you something, when you're dealing with mass production, distribution channels, and replicated internal brand markers, that's not accidental. That's a system. Somebody greenlit this. Somebody signed off. Somebody thought Nelly wouldn't notice, or worse, thought he wouldn't fight back. And this is where I gotta pause and ask the uncomfortable question the culture loves to dodge. Why is it that when Black artists step into ownership, the respect disappears? You can sample our sound, jack our swag, flip our designs, and then look confused when we start lawyering up. That's not coincidence, that's entitlement. Allegedly, this company banked on the idea that the public would just blame Nelly, shrug, and move on. And for a minute, that plan was working. That's the sick part. Because think about it, every low-quality jean sold under the apple-bottom lookalike umbrella chipped away at the brand's credibility. Fans didn't say some random company messed up. They said Nelly fell off. That's how reputation damage works. That's how legacy erosion happens quietly, piece by piece, until it's too late. And allegedly, once Nelly's team connected those dots, all bets were off. Contracts were reviewed, warehouses were investigated, and lawyers, they started sharpening knives. But wait, there's more. Allegedly, according to people close to the situation, Latto wasn't just blindsided, she was heated. And if you know anything about Latto, you know she don't play about her work. Fans believe she took this personally because Applebottom's revival wasn't just business, it was about restoring something iconic for a new generation of women. So to have that vision allegedly undermined by cheap replicas, that's disrespect layered on disrespect. And when women get dragged into mess that threatens their credibility, the response gets real strategic, real fast. Now, let's talk about the court angle. While details are still emerging, it's reported that Nelly's legal team is pushing the narrative of intentional brand sabotage, not simple copyright confusion. That's a big difference, because if proven, this turns from a civil disagreement to a cautionary tale for any company thinking they can profit off Black nostalgia without consequences. Damages don't just mean money, they mean admissions, injunctions, and public acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and that's the part folks fear the most. Online reactions shifted heavy at this point. You saw fans doubling back, saying things like, "Okay, now this makes sense, and I owe Nelly an apology." Others started calling out the larger fashion industry, pointing out how often Black-led brands get cloned overseas, stripped of quality, then blamed for the fallout. Threads turned into think pieces, TikToks turned into mini documentaries, and suddenly this wasn't just gossip, it was a conversation about ownership, exploitation, and who really controls Black creativity. Now, let me roast for a second, because this needs to be said. If you're a company allegedly making low-grade products under a respected brand's likeness, knowing full well the backlash will hit the creator first, that's coward behavior. That's hiding behind distance, loopholes, and plausible deniability. High-value business don't move like that. Ethical business don't move like that. That's the kind of move that tells me you never planned to build anything, just cash out before the walls closed in. Now here's the broader lesson, and I want y'all to really hear this. This story matters because it shows why ownership without protection is dangerous. Talent without infrastructure gets exploited. Legacy without legal armor gets diluted, and too many people still think lawsuits mean you're bitter or doing too much, when in reality it's survival. Nelly fighting back ain't ego, it's leadership. It's saying, you're not about to rewrite my story while I'm still alive. As of now, investigations are reportedly ongoing and no final ruling has been made public, but fans believe this case could open doors or shut them permanently, depending on how it lands. Will more brands come forward with similar stories? Will companies think twice before cutting corners? Let me start like this. We are living in an era where everything gets copied, watered down, repackaged, and sold back to us like it's brand new. Originality is under attack. Ownership don't mean what it used to mean. And Black creators? Yeah, we're always the first ones to get played. And today's story is a perfect example because allegedly somebody tried to run off with a legacy brand and they thought nobody was watching. But baby, they got caught in 4K. Today, we're talking about Nelly, apple-bottom jeans, and a lawsuit that's got the internet whispering, pointing fingers, and saying, damn, damn, damn.